Dad was such a drag. Every day he'd eat the same kind of food, dress the same, sit in front of the same kind of games. Yeah, he was just that kind of guy. But then one day he goes and kills us all. He couldn't even be original about the way he did it. I'm not complaining. I was dying of boredom anyway.
What is the scariest game ever made? Of course, horror is subjective. Some may be scared of things others find not so scary. But I think many of us find the feeling of the unknown significantly more scary than a cheap jump scare. Psychological horror games plays off these elements of not knowing a lot, like long and sharp hallways and things you can't really wrap your head around. Uncertainty, loneliness, all universal fears that you can't help but feel creeped out by. I want you to keep in mind that this is my personal opinion, but I know many will agree with me. The game I'm going to talk about can also be surprising to many, because I don't think this is the first game that comes to mind when discussing scary horror games. I am talking about PT. PT is a demo or a playable teaser to the game Silent Hills, an installment in the Silent Hill series. Silent Hills sadly got cancelled in 2015, and soon after that the demo got removed from the PlayStation Store, which is a damn shame, because the demo of Silent Hills had so much potential and it's so scary. PT is about an unnamed protagonist who awakens in a concrete-lined room and opens a door to a haunted corridor in which he can only walk through a hallway which continuously loops and redecorates itself. Sounds like something I've heard of before. Anyway, this concept is so goddamn cool. The rooms repeat themselves, but there are different things happening each time, and that uncertainty on what will reveal itself behind the corner is so nerve-wracking. The sound effects in this game is also extremely well done. Every time you open the door to the repeating corridor, you'll always hear different sounds and knocks for each time. The sounds are a big reason to why this is the scariest game ever made. You can never expect what is on the other side of the sharp hallway. You can only imagine based on the sounds. When you actually get the courage to peek through, your expectations are never met. The game is directed by Hideo Kojima and developed by his game company Kojima Productions. Some say that PT is a game made because Kojima wanted to tell a twisted message about the corrupt game company he got fired from, Konami. We will get into the lore and all that kind of stuff a bit later. I first want to show you a clip of me playing the remake of the PlayStation 4 demo.
Oh! Damn! No! Ah! Oh! Oh, what?
This uneasiness is so effective. There are only a limited amount of locations in this game, but the repeating familiar rooms just makes it more creepy in my opinion. The puzzles in PT require you to really scour the hallway for clues, which has the added effect of familiarizing yourself with the area. There is a point in the game where you go through the loop a couple of times and you can hear this baby crying from the crib. It was so disturbing to encounter. Since the halls are tight, I feel claustrophobic and scared. I always expect different things to happen each time. Maybe I'm going insane? This is of course intended to happen, to freak you out. There's a ghost that haunts you in the game, called Lisa. The story is that she is a pregnant woman that got murdered by her husband, alongside her daughter and son. There are a lot of disturbing clues about the murder scattered around the game. You encounter Lisa many times in the different loops. Sometimes she laughs at you from finding different clues, and other times she just observes you. The game implies that Lisa wants more than to just kill you. Maybe she wants you to figure out the murder. I'm not sure. There are a radio in every loop, and sometimes the radio tells us about different fathers killing their families. There is also a scene where you need to peek through a hole in the wall to a bathroom. Here, you hear graphic sounds of a murder taking place, and the radio is pushing the killer to do the deed. This is not the murder of Lisa though, but a hint that maybe other people or things were present or pushing the husband to do the murder on Lisa and her children too. Maybe it is a metaphor for the husband going insane? Whatever the reason Lisa's husband had for murdering her and her children, it is implied that he has remorse for what he did. At a point in the game, this message is shown. Forgive me, Lisa. There is a monster inside of me. Pretty creepy. Kojima is the creator of many games, including the Metal Gear Solid games if you didn't know. Kojima got fired by the company Konami that he helped to create and evolve throughout the years. Other employees in the company seemed to do it better than him during his last year in the company, so he got fired in 2015. People speculate that he made PT as a fuck you to the company that basically used him and his knowledge for story and video games. There are many metaphors and hints in the game that implies this. It is more than a scary horror game, and the game has a deeper meaning about Kojima's struggles in Konami. But that is just a theory. A game theory. Shit, I'm sorry. But it is just up to interpretation. There is one theory I like though. Kojima started developing a game engine called the Fox engine in 2008, right after the completion of Metal Gear Solid 4. His goal was to make it the best engine in the world. Konami scrapped the Fox engine to use the Unreal engine instead, which I'm sure made Kojima very angry, since he had worked so hard for so many years to develop it. Lisa could possibly be interpreted as the Fox engine itself, killed by Konami, potentially her husband in PT, through their limited vision of gaming's future and the firing of Kojima. Lisa is shown resurrected and pregnant, meaning Konami still wanted to use the Fox engine to create more games after they fired the people that made it. This Sync fetus has a monologue that hints at this.
You got fired, so you drowned your sorrows in booze. She had to get a part-time job working a grocery store cash register. Only reason she could earn a wage at all is the manager liked how she looked in a skirt. You remember, right? Exactly 10 months back.
This seems to say that Konami only wanted to use the engine because they liked how it looked. The working a grocery store cash register line may be referring to microtransaction heavy games that the engine was used for, or other games that weren't utilizing the full potential of the engine. The Sync fetus could also be a metaphor for the Silent Hills project that Kojima never got to finish, a game that wasn't allowed to come full turn using the Fox engine. But back to what the video is about. The game itself doesn't have a lot of things happening in it, but when something happens, it is fucking scary. It can be because I haven't played a lot of horror games, but just the repeating patterns make me mad. It's like hell. You keep going and different disturbing shit happens each time, and I love it. It's like a liminal space with suspenseful horror elements that can surprise you from each time you enter the corridor. Later in the game, things get crazy with red lights and eyes and all of that stuff. This could be a metaphor of something deeper in Kojima's life, but that I'm not sure about. When you manage to find all the clues and get the baby to laugh 2 times, you beat the game. And the ending is what people presume to be, well, Silent Hills. The teaser for it, at least. The game is not out, as mentioned, but it would be so fire if it was. The Walking Dead man following the story of Lisa and the murders. Oh, I could only wish. But it's still cool to see what could be of it. Like I've said, what makes this game so special and scary is that there are all these suspenseful scenes and lore that isn't shown right away, but rather teased for the player, so that the player can get truly invested. And the terror of waiting for shit to happen and then not happening is so scary. I really enjoyed the experience, and I recommend you playing the remake of the demo as well. Although it is not 100% similar to the original game for the PS4, it is close enough. I will link the remake for PC in the description. And hey, remember to subscribe. What do you want to see me do next? Let me know in the comments. And goodbye.